Now, let's move on. Now, we've already talked about this, but let's hit it again. What is the definition of money? It's nothing more than a means of exchange. We exchange food for money, money for food, car for money, money for car, house for money, money for house. It's nothing more than a means of exchange. What's the purpose of money? Well, the purpose of money is to buy everything that we want in life, right? I mean, maybe we want to donate it. Maybe we want to buy a bigger house, another car. Maybe we want to send our kids to college. We want to, maybe buy a dog food, whatever it is, airline ticket, travel. All right. Now, who on this call believes in compound interest? Yes, all your hands go up. You've all been taught compound interest is a great thing. Well, let's talk about compound interest for a minute. The only way compounding works is if your product or your money sits still, right? So in other words, it can't be in motion. So in other words, all right, if I have a $20 bill and I want that money to compound, guess what I have to do with it? I got to take it down, I got to give it to the bank, and I give it to the bank teller, and now that money has to sit still in order for it to compound, right? If I go back in and get that $20 bill in a week, a month, or a year, it's no longer compounding. So compounding stops the motion of your money. Now, motion is a natural law of God, is it not? Everything is in motion. Just right now, I want you to take a look around you, right? You're probably up and about, moving around. Your lips are moving. You're drinking water. You ate some lunch, and the food is in motion through your belly. The cars are moving outside. The birds are flying. Airplanes are flying. Everything is in motion. Would you guys want to go and buy some produce at your local grocery store and let it sit and compound for a couple weeks? No, it's going to spoil. Would you eat fish out of a stagnant pond that has no motion? No. Everything in life is about motion, and compounding stops that motion. But we've all been taught compounding is a great thing. Now, let me ask you this. We've been told compound interest is a great thing. I want you to name me one business in the world that actually uses compound interest. Just pick one. Yep, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking banks use compound interest. No, they don't. Banks use compound, so banks pay you compound interest and they charge you compound interest, but they don't, so they don't use compound interest. And here's what I mean. Let's say if I took a $20 bill, I highlighted it in yellow, and I took it down to my local bank and I gave it to the bank teller. Now, does that bank teller take my $20 bill? Do they go into the back room of the bank and there's a little box there and it says Brent Kessler, and that's where they put that money until I come back to get it? No. As a matter of fact, if I go back and get that same $20 bill back tomorrow, the one that I highlighted and put my initials on, are they going to give me that same bill back? No. If I go back in an hour, are they going to give me the same one back? No. Why are they not going to give me the same $20 bill back? Because they're moving it. They're keeping it in motion. Let me ask you this. How much money does a grocery store make if groceries are just sitting, compounding on the shelf? Zero. How much money does a car dealer make if nobody is buying cars? How much money does the airlines make if nobody's traveling? How much does a house investor, someone in the real estate world, make if nobody is buying houses, flipping houses, renting houses? How much money does a hotel make if nobody's checking in and out of the hotel? Zero. Not one business in the world actually uses compound interest. So isn't it a little bit strange that all the major institutions that promote it, banks, Wall Street, mutual funds, insurance companies, they all tell us to park our money with them and leave it sit still, but they don't do it themselves. If it's so good to let your money sit and compound, why aren't they doing it? I'm just trying to get you to think about what's going on. Now, how many of you on the call have an IRA or a 401k? Quite a few of you, right? Well, why do you have an IRA or a 401k? What is the reason? Well, here's the reason. The reason is you're putting money into that plan because you want to save money for later. You want to save money for retirement. And your parents and your grandparents and your colleagues and your friends and your coworkers are putting money in an IRA and a 401k, right? Well, let me ask you this. Are there any guarantees at all with that IRA, 401k, or qualified plan? You're probably thinking no. Well, there is one guarantee. It's just actually guaranteed to never go below zero. But how exciting would that be if that actually happened? Wouldn't that suck? All right. Now, who is controlling your 401k? Is it you or somebody else? Somebody else is controlling it. And how long do you have to let it sit there in that 401k IRA qualified plan before you can get it out without paying a penalty? You're right, age 59 and a half, right? Even when you go get the money out at age 59 and a half, you still have to pay tax on the money. Do you not? So the only thing you're avoiding is the penalty. Now, so are there any guarantees? No. Who controls it? Somebody else. Let me ask you this, okay? I want you to tell me every single thing that you know about your retirement account, your 401k, your IRA qualified plan. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me. I'll tell you what you know. You know one of two things. The thing that you know is if that account goes up or down based on the quarterly statements that you get, and you may know if the dollars are invested in a low, moderate, or high risk category. But other than that, you guys don't know crap about your retirement plan, do you? And somebody else is controlling it. And there's no guarantees it's going to be there. But you're doing it because you feel good because our parents, grandparents, friends, colleagues, coworkers are doing it, right? Now, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, okay? 3 questions. Is a dollar worth more today or in the future? The answer is today. And if you ever forget that, think about how many candy bars that you could buy 20 years ago for $1, how many you can buy today. Are taxes going to go up or go down? They're going to go up, right? That's the history. The history has been that taxes go up. Even if they don't go up, aren't we constantly taxed on more stuff all the time? Yes. 3rd question. Would you rather pay tax on the seed or the harvest? The small amount or the big amount? Yeah, you would rather pay tax on the small amount, right? I agree with all 3 of those answers. But by you putting money in a 401k, IRA, or qualified plan, you are violating all of those answers. Because what you're doing is giving up good dollars today to get paid with non-guaranteed weaker dollars in the future. You're compounding your tax because your tax is always going to be there. And when you do pay it, you're going to pay it at the higher rate. I'm just trying to get you to think about what's going on with your money. Now, let's go one step deeper into this. You told me money is a means of exchange. Did you not? Food is money, money is food. Car is money, money is car, right? Let's just say that today your age around, let's say you are 40 years old. So today you're 40 years old. Well, I don't know how long you've been putting money in the retirement account, but we know we can't get it out without paying that penalty until we're 59 and a half, but the tax is always going to be there. So that's another 20 years we have to keep that money in there, right? And we said money is a means of exchange. So let's make believe that we're all going to leave here today and we're going to go to the grocery store and we're going to buy a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread. Are you going to wait 5, 10, 15, 20 years to eat that bread or drink that milk? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? How about if we go buy a car or a house today? You're going to wait 5, 10, 15, 20 years to drive the car or move in the house? That would be ridiculous, would it not? Well, why are you doing that with your money? Because you told me all those things equal money. So why do you do that with your money? See, people do things with money they would never do with things that money buys. You would never buy a loaf of bread and put it in the freezer and wait 20 years to eat it, would you? But you'll put money in an IRA, a 401k, a qualified plan, and hope to get more later. Is this starting to make a little sense? Oh, but guess what you tell me? You say, but Brent, I get a match. If I put money in my retirement account, I get a match. Well, do you really get a match? Is even the principal guaranteed? No, it's not. So the match is definitely not guaranteed. But let's just go with your theory and say that you get a match. So you put $1 in, they match it $1. Okay. Well, we said that food equals money, money equals food. So let's go to the store, buy a loaf of bread, bring home that loaf of bread, put it in the freezer, and 20 years from now, we're going to open up the freezer, and guess what's going to be in there? 2 loaves of bread. How much better is that second loaf of bread going to taste 20 years from now? You're right. It's still going to be freezer burn. So what I want you to do is I want you to start using your good dollars today and paying them back with weaker dollars in the future. Totally contraindicated to what we've been taught. They want your good dollars today and they want to pay you back with non-guaranteed weaker dollars in the future. I bet a lot of you guys on the call and gals, a lot of you listeners, you could use those dollars today, could you not? Maybe you're a real estate investor and you want to buy more property. Maybe you need a new car. Maybe you got some student loans to pay off, credit card debt. Maybe you want to go on a vacation. Maybe you want to help a kid with college, right? You could probably use those dollars today that you're putting in those qualified plans. Just